Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Table Talk Thursday, episode 42. Your weekly news source. I am your host, RPBrother_1, with my co-host over here.
Kenneth, also known as Raining Death, no knows.
There we go. Kenneth, also known as the guy that only plays Dead by Daylight. All Dead by Daylight all the time, just like I'll Claudette all the time, which is literally that's your existence right there.
Today's news show, we are drinking Bellabole, Moscato, and Strawberry.
I saw it on the shelf at Walmart, so I figured I'd pick it up because it said something about strawberry. I think we've already had their Moscato. It was all right.
Yeah, I think we have.
The strawberries, definitely tastes like strawberry. Like I said, I was saying it kind of tastes like Strawberry Crush to me, just with a little bit of hint of alcohol. Have you ever had Strawberry Crush?
Like once.
Yeah. That's basically what it tastes like. It's not too bad. It's not super sweet or anything. Oh. Apparently your sound's on.
Yeah, just turn it off.
Yeah, and then it just come up on your phone too.
Yeah.
Nice.
Right.
See, my phone doesn't get notifications until after I log off my computer, and it takes 5 minutes, and then it pushes everything to my phone.
Well, that was Muxibot.
Yeah, no, but that's what
the other one was a lot faster.
Which one was that?
I think it was just Twitch itself. Muxibot takes
emailing you.
Yeah, Muxibot.
Muxi takes a minute.
More like 5.
Something like that, yeah. Skeptical Live.
So this is actually an update to an earlier story we were covering in the late last year. It says the Syrian army will be deployed to the YPG-held Afrin to stop Turkish invasion. The People's Protection Unit, or the YPG, also known as the Kurds, in Afrin are engaged in heavy combat with Turkish forces attacking them from several axes.
Which we're not surprised because, the Turks don't like the...
The Turks hate the Kurds, and...
Aren't the Kurds... aren't they Turkish people still? They're just a different sect or whatever?
They're a different sect. Like, a third of the Turkish citizenry are Kurds, and they mainly are living in southeastern Turkey. And they're heavily vilified by the Turkish government.
Like I said, they're still Turkish people. But do they want to be independent?
Yes. And they're attacking the Kurds in North Syria because the Kurds have been trying to break off to make their own Kurdistan. And they want North Syria because North Syria has a lot of oil resources.
Funny thing with Kurdistan is it's too much like what is it? The meme. What is the meme? The meme we talked about.
From Kyrgyzstan?
Yeah, it's like
Kyrgyzstan. Gonna be Kyrgyzstani?
Yeah. Lord have mercy.
Yes. So, and like I said, they have no love for each other.
No
and
love?
This is not surprising at all.
Don't hurt me no more.
So, prior to the Turkish operations against Afrin, Operation Olive Branch, named Operation Olive Branch, the YPG sent an offer via Russia to let Syrian armed forces into Afrin, protecting them from the Turkish invasion. Because as much as the Kurds and the YPG want to break off from Syria, they want to live and not be ruled by Turkey a whole hell of a lot more.
Okay, Shadow. Just slob on his knob more.
I
get no love. You're talking about how posh you are, and he's like, posh OP, posh DVD player, posh man is God.
It is as they say. Now
he's throwing out more posh. Look what you did.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend. And that's what the YPG have in the Syrian army. But, however, the YPG rejected this offer and led to the Russian troops withdrawing from Afrin altogether, paving the way for the Turkish invasion of the city. Local reporters have stated that the Syrian government has extended an offer to the YPG to deploy Syrian armed forces to Afrin again, protecting the city both militarily and diplomatically from the continued Turkish assault. This is going to be quite interesting to see, because they should actually have already moved into Afrin by the time we're reporting this. And it'd be interesting to see if Turkey will attack them, because the Kurds are still going to be there, just protected by the Syrian armed forces. So, will Turkey risk an international incident by attacking the Syrian army?
Find on the next episode. I had to. It's there.
Yes. But Al-Madin spoke with an unnamed Kurdish official, which stated, "We welcome the Syrian army in Afrin region amid the government between us and the Syrian government." Many, however, are skeptical of the deal, as Afrin is the cornerstone of the YPG and has resisted what it deems occupation by the Syrian government as much as it has resisted the Turkish forces. Well, this does not bode well to Kurdish independence. For if they let the Syrian army in, it gives them...
Yes! They're giving me business cards at no cost.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes! I fucked up, but but it's all G. Probably because they make hundreds and hundreds of dollars a day, but I think everybody uses Vistaprint.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. I'd like to replace your business card at no cost. That's so nice of them. I'm quite happy about that, because I was so sad when I messed that up in the first place. Mm-hmm. Anyway, yeah. Alright.
Anyways, so yeah, I look forward to seeing what Turkey does with it. It's probably not going to be good.
And next up, we have one of the best memes that we make and say all the time here. I'm sure you've heard it on stream multiple times if you've ever tuned into any of the games, while we're playing games, anything. But the real Korea. Oh, Lord. North Korea calls for reunification with South Korea, so they become the one true Korea together. I'm connected to a voice lobby here, apparently.
That's interesting.
It's probably because of... As I was clicking through, it was doing things.
Okay, well, at least we're still broadcasting.
Yeah, the mic is correct. There we go. Okay. This is the one with real fur and real comp, specifically the Eddie, I believe. Or not.
Really?
Or not. Well... It's still got the real comp and real fur on, I'm pretty sure.
Sure.
Whatever. It's all good. We can still be heard the whole time. That's all that matters. Anyway, again, as I said, the North Korea Shadow hosted 0 views. Boo, North Korea.
Well,
I didn't hear the
yeah, the notification didn't go off, but at least...
I didn't hear a notification. Makes you sad. I don't know, it might just be late. Wait for it.
Or at least Mixer isn't double repeating.
Yeah, and Mixer's not double posting for once, too. That's good. That's why it only does it for certain people on Mixer. Like, not everybody it affects them. It's weird. Anyway, North Korea has called on all Koreans at home and abroad to promote contact and cooperation between
the real Korea and South Korea.
You know why North Korea wants that, and why they probably want everybody? Because North Korea fucking sucks right now.
I mean, it always has.
Well, I don't think it always has. I think it's much worse now.
It always has.
I think
I can assure you. Oh, absolutely. It's gotten much worse.
But bomb Mixers and... Well, look, Shadows on Mixer. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with Mixer. I like Mixer, still personally. We see people on Mixer. We see decent growth out of Mixer. I mean, I just dual stream because I got the diehard Twitch fanboys and fangirls, and then you got the Twitch people. I mean, the Mixer people. Most of them have been trolls, but there have been some that have been really cool. So thank you, people in Mixer land. Anyway, state media in North Korea also said Pyongyang would smash all challenges against reunification of the Korean Peninsula.
It sounds like a nuclear weapon.
Yeah. It sounds like, become the real Korea so we can conscript you all and use you all.
The South Koreans are used to far too high a level of living standards.
Yeah. Shadow hasn't counted with that one. Let's see. Koreans are being urged to make a breakthrough for unification without other countries' help. AKA, probably, U.S. Like, oh yeah, we're the United States, let's help you guys.
We'll just destroy the North Korean
Think of Mike Tyson just pushing two people together and saying, Kith. Now Kith. that's basically the U.S. There we go. Oh, there is sound. We're just not hearing it. Is it just not... I think it was plugged in later. Yeah, it was plugged in later after I restarted my computer. So let me just... It played through right there.
It's default.
It's playing the audio in stream. I think it's going behind the little falling. It's not playing for us, though. Okay.
Don't know why.
Heard that. Is it not in all?
I didn't hear it. No, it's in all. Test it again.
Test audio real quick.
There we go.
All right. Well, Stream heard audio. We didn't hear audio, but now we do. We've got the cans working. Hooray! That was kind of annoying. I was like, I see it come up, and I'm just like, I hear nothing. Am I deaf? Did I go deaf? Anyway. Anyway, the North's official news agency said military tension of the Korean Peninsula was a fundamental obstacle, no shit, to the improvement of inter-Korean relations. So, is that Kim Jong-un like saying, okay guys, we need to put our dicks away finally? Or is that just somebody else in his government?
Well, he's telling the US to back off.
Oh. Well, he said...
I mean, they're still going to develop the nuclear weapons.
He said the military tension on the Korean Peninsula, which means
between him and the US.
But it's on the Korean Peninsula. It's between the two Koreas, too.
Yeah, slightly, but it's more the US. It's more Donald Trump, really.
He's not going to stand for that shit. Especially if, like, they absorb and North Korea tries to be like, we are the governing body. And Trump's going to be like, no. Mm-mm.
Well, no. Kim Jong-un's delusional if he thinks he's going to rule the Korea.
No. Yeah, that's not happening. It came as the North's ice hockey team, dressed in DPRK jackets, crossed the militarized border to form Korea's first ever unified team for next month's Winter Olympics. The players will travel to training center to meet their 23 South Korean teammates and were expected to start practicing together later on Thursday.
And as another interesting point, a poll released found 70% of South Koreans do not want the North Koreans here.
Here, as in like
in South Korea.
Oh, South Korea. Yeah.
Yeah, moving on. We get ever closer to death.
Well, see, that's partially sad because, like, to be fair, it's not all of the North Koreans, like, the people's fault. It's kind of like America and other countries of the world. Like, there's good people everywhere. And, poor people of North Korea, some of them are too brainwashed and stuff. And it's just, yeah.
It's absolutely
thank you for hosting Shadow on the other platform as well, by the way.
Yeah, it's not the citizenry's fault for what their country's leadership is doing.
It's not our fault, and Shadow and most of the American people, because that's all that usually inhabit Twitch and everywhere else. It's not our fault for our gracious leader's fault, being absolutely retarded. Trust me, most of us intelligent people in the United States aren't very happy with the fact that he exists and is our president. I honestly think this is going to be the worst presidency in term ever. However, apparently all these other stars are coming out and trying to rule, become president now, and that's even scarier because now we're going to have celebrity presidents. And then basically, the
presidency is going to be useless.
I mean, it kind of already is, but yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to become literally useless unless we get like some smart, honest.
Like if we get Bernie Sanders.
Well, no. I was talking about if we get like a star that's like a decent, human being. Let's get Keanu Reeves. He seems intelligent. He lives a humble life. I think he could make it work. Mm. Also, somebody's going to go in and steal his Declaration of Independence. He's going to go John Wick. John Wick 4. That'd be hilarious. Good joke. Shadow's trying to be anonymous. Stop it, Shadow. You're not Legion. That's not how that works.
But as I said, we get ever closer to death. The Doomsday Clock.
Hold on. Can I roll a clip for 2 minutes to midnight? Let me see if I can find it. Go.
Yes, because it is accurate.
Is it actually 2 minutes now? Mm-hmm. Oh, we're back to 2 minutes?
Mm. Yes! Back to. We haven't been there for quite a while.
I said back to because we've been there before.
Been there once.
Yeah.
So, world closer to self-destruction than ever. The Bulletin of Atomic Scientists revealed the 2018 position as 2 minutes to midnight.
Hold on.
On Thursday.
We got it?
Come on.
Come on,
Is
play it.
it even playing over there?
Do what? Nope. We're just headbanging for no reason. There we go. Now I can't even hear without my headset on.
Let me,
That's because you're changing it. What did you do?
Turn the gain on.
go. Oh, here we go. Here it is. Here's our copyright strike for the song. There we go.
Okay. So,
That's actually one of my favorite songs by Iron Maiden, by the way. Like, good song.
and it's not accurate.
Well, it was accurate, I think, when it came out, because Iron Maiden, Iron Maiden's 80 years old or something like that. 70 something. They're old as shit. Which, by the way, Iron Maiden's breaking up after this year, after this last Big Four tour. I should probably go try to find tickets to that.
Yes, so scientists have made the call amid growing tensions between the United States and North Korea.
I'm surprised it wasn't moved up earlier, to be honest.
It actually
there's been
was.
tensions all fucking year we've covered.
It was.
Oh.
Last year it was 2 minutes 30.
Ah.
This is the first time in the history of the clock that it has ever been moved up by 30 seconds. So, yes, scientists have made the call amid the growing tensions between the United States and North Korea, which have been engaged in a war of words over Kim Jong-un's nuclear weapon program. The hypothetical countdown, which was introduced in 1974, predicts the likelihood of a man-made global disaster. It is now 2 minutes to midnight, the closest the clock has ever been to doomsday, and as close as it was in 1953 at the height of the Cold War, when the United States and the Soviet Union were testing hydrogen bombs. The doomsday clock was the furthest away at 17 minutes to midnight in 1991. Theoretical physicist Lawrence Krauss said the danger of nuclear conflagration is not the only reason the clock has been moved forward. This danger looms at a time when there has been a loss of trust in political institutions, in the media, in science, and in facts themselves, all of which exacerbate the difficulty of dealing with real-world problems that the world faces. Which is absolutely correct.
All correct.
You have all these politicians coming out here, and Donald Trump especially, saying everything's fake news, he's putting people into place that are against the environment as the head of the Environmental Protection Agency, or doesn't know anything about anything but the interior, who's selling contracts to his friends to make them very wealthy. I mean, he's dismantling institutions that are responsible for keeping us all safe and healthy, and he does it intentionally.
Yep. And then now, in the midst of, not that I can say I can connect these dots, but right now, there's a largest, fatal flu epidemic there's been in a while.
Yeah, surprisingly, the flu has been very virulent this year.
It's like this specific strain has been mutated to just be very, very potent and deadly. I think it actually stops people from breathing. I believe is what Katie was telling me. It causes acute, lung failure or something like that. Which, if you know anything about how that works, that's instant failure within, no discernible time.
Yeah. You should probably go get a flu shot then. Oh,
well, we're safe. It's only young kids and old adults, but that's how it always is. The flu doesn't really it affects us, but we're fine. We're realistically we'd be fine with just bed rest stuff because nothing you could do about the flu once you get it, except lay in bed and die.
If you catch it soon enough, you can actually get some medicine that will greatly alleviate the symptoms.
You get that even if you're balls deep into it. I had Tamiflu, which
is what they recommend.
Tamiflu is awful, though. It caused really bad adverse reactions in me and fucking caused me to have anxiety attacks. It was terrible for me. It didn't make me feel better at all. It made me feel like I was dying worse. It's bad.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people recommend is Tamiflu.
Yeah, but there's a large scale of cases where mine where it's just fucking. It says in the box it may cause anxiety attacks and all this other stuff. It says it can cause heart attacks and all those other things. First of all, my mom was concerned with having heart attacks because it's what it described. I would have numbness and tingling in my arm that would go into my chest and I couldn't breathe. I was like, oh, this is my first time ever experiencing anxiety attacks. Pretty awful.
Yeah, I know. I experienced one on a plane. It was bad.
That's why I'm afraid of flying, because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna just get one. Like,
No. It wasn't because of the plane. It was because I was traveling internationally but I was traveling across the country for a competition for school, and I needed a very specific PowerPoint that I thought I backed up on the laptop and on the flash drive, and etc. And then I go pulling it up on the plane because I'm like, okay, I'm on the plane, I'll pull it up, review it for a few minutes, make sure everything's good, and maybe work on it if it needs a touch-up. And I pull up my laptop, and it's nowhere to be seen. When I look through everything, I pull out every flash drive I have, and I'm like, okay, well, I can't check the online, but I'm just panicking. And yeah, I start to have an anxiety attack on the plane because I'm just in a panic. Because it was crucial that I have that. Didn't find it. Never found it. Found an older version and I lost. But it just threw me off, I think, honestly. Just having lost that, it just destroyed me.
No, it's like whenever we were in Dallas and I was super drunk. I was having an anxiety attack then, basically. That's why I was like, water. And I was just sitting there trying to keep my cool as best as possible. I was like, Kenneth's driving, everything's cool, and I'm just like, trying to breathe. And I'm like, all right. That's what was going on with me, in case you were wondering what was happening. And I was just like,
I'm just like, okay, he's hold.
I'm just like, I'm good. Like, basically, it's just like where I have to just make my brain tell my brain to stop being stupid, and I'm just sitting there like,
and of course, all the fucking Dallas construction.
Yep. And then it's like, and then I got more worried because it's like, Kenneth, why are we at the airport? Because we made it to the airport, and I was like, what the fuck's going on, Kenneth? What did you do?
There's like 12 lanes, and then they just disappear.
It was 12 lanes, and then they go into toll booths, and they're like, you're at the airport. And I was like, what?
It's like, I'm just following the thing. And like the construction was so bad that Google hadn't caught up to it, which is crazy. It's usually pretty on point. So it directed us to the airport, and we had to loop around, and we made it back.
We still made it there before the other group that had the drunk person. And we were like, all right, guys, just use GPS and use your phone. And they had Donzo for guidance. But Donzo was as drunk as I was because we were going shot for shot. And God. I was like...
Turn left, over right, yeah.
And I was like, I'm pretty sure Donzo was toasted because he passed out on the couch and they were sitting there playing Cards Against Humanity. I was like, I laughed and I was like, yeah.
So, in Trump news, Trump shocked Brits by ordering Theresa May to make people stop protesting against him.
President Donald Trump last year ranted about non-existent no-go zones in London to UK. Prime Minister Theresa May, and she was forced to tell him that he was mistaken. Trump's relationship with former May strategy director Chris Wilkins says that Trump turned to May and told her he believed there were parts of London that were effectively no-go areas. I could just think of him saying that in his voice. There are no-go zones, because he said that before.
Mr. Prime Minister, I've heard here... I can't do a good Trump voice, but I've heard that there are no-go zones here in London where the Islamic extremists will hunt down anybody who's not a Muslim. Can you confirm?
Due to the number of Islamic extremists during a meeting between the two world leaders in 2017. But as we've covered, that might not be far off. Because remember, we covered the whole, there's areas in the UK that are effectively bad areas.
Yeah,
no-go
in the
zones.
UK, not London specifically, but in the UK there are cities and sections of cities. There's whole damn cities that are essentially where they've ran out the native British population.
Yep.
And converted. I mean, I remember reading the story, and it's just like the last two couples of British people. They're like, yeah, we're afraid to go walking out because there's a group of people out there and they'll yell at us since we're not wearing modest clothing. And there's none of all of our friends and family have left the city. And it's like a small rural city. Like, it wasn't a big city to begin with. It was like a little country town, and then all these Muslims moved in and ran out all of the native British people.
That's what you mean. That's where if that shit happens in America, it doesn't happen in America. You get your guns, you make a stand.
That's why I can't remember. It's not Tony Robinson, but the leader of the EDL, the original leader, he started the EDL because he saw what was going on in his town. That these Muslims, these extremists, were coming into his town and making changes and taking over sections of the city and forcing the government to change things, and he didn't like that. So he made the EDL to defend British people's rights and their liberty. And yes, it did become quite racist over time, and he greatly disavows that. I mean, he says it himself. He didn't make this to hate against Muslims. He made it to protect, the people there.
So Alpha Wolf, we here like Sanders. I'm a avid non-voting American because I don't like voting because there's nobody worth my vote for the most part. But I would have gone out and registered to vote for specifically Sanders. He's been the only money to get me to register to vote since I've been 18. But how Trump became president is that Sanders really didn't, I guess, fight.
No.
Part of it was that.
Realistically, when we talk about this, Sanders lost because the Democratic Party, the leadership was against him.
Well,
they worked with Hillary. It came out just late last year that the Hillary campaign had essentially bought the DNC. Yeah,
which we knew. And that was the whole leaked emails thing is, they were against him from the start and they were on Hillary's side. We knew that. Anybody that paid attention to anything knew that. Yeah. But he still could have tried running as independent. He still could have tried something.
I wish he would have ran as independent.
I feel he would have won as an independent.
But it would have shown the Democrats and the Republicans that there's a clear section of the United States
people that would vote
have voted on him cross-party lines. There are plenty of Republicans and Democrats who say straight out, yeah, I don't like any of the Democrats, but damn if I wouldn't vote for Bernie Sanders. He's the best chance we have.
Yeah. And so it was things like that. It was because he didn't continue to go. Because, realistically, because of the way the bipartisanism of the country and how stupid most of the people are.
Yeah, and like I said, it was structural. They blocked him. They blocked independents from being a part of the New York caucus or the New York primary. They worked with the media to push Hillary Clinton heavily. They were bought and owned by her for months on end. They were in her pocket. And there was really nothing. Sanders, unfortunately, he was down from the beginning. He had so much ground support. So many people came out there to support him.
His campaign was mostly crowdfunded, wasn't it?
No, his $27. He's funded by people $27 at a time. He did not accept big donations from unions, or from really big unions, or from rich people. It was all small donors. It was 80-90% of his donations.
Bill Nye the Nazi spy, it's all fake news. No.
Yeah, but anyways.
So
this is actually a pretty interesting thing going on.
Trump berated May for the unfair treatment that he received in the UK press and refused to set foot in the country until she could guarantee that he would not be greeted with mass protest. I remember this. They were basically calling him out and calling him pussy and stuff because of all this. May responded to say such treatment was simply the way the British press operate, and there wasn't much she could do, Bloomberg writes. In the secure bunker underneath the Prime Minister's office, her advisors listened in to the call in astonishment at Trump's demand.
I can't imagine any world leader asking such a thing, but Trump is so thin-skinned.
Trump is Trump. He wants it's my way, no highway option.
Or he's going to build the highway and make it private. Anyways.
Yep.
Dutch police to undress youths wearing clothes deemed too expensive for them.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Oh!
Yeah, it's interesting. They have their justifications. It's I don't know where I quite stand on it. It's difficult to say, really. Police in the Dutch city of Rotterdam have launched a new pilot program which will see them confiscating expensive clothing and jewelry from young people if they look too poor to own them.
That's wrong on a few levels.
Definitely kind of racial profiling.
Yeah.
The idea is to deter criminality by sending them a signal that the men will not be able to hang onto the ill-gotten gains. Rotterdam Police Chief Frank Hall told Dutch newspaper Telegraaf they are often young men who consider themselves untouchable who are going to undress them on the street. He said the young men targeted often have no income and are already in debt from fines from previous convictions, but wearing expensive clothing. But critics have attacked them for the idea, saying it's a slippery slope towards racial profiling. City Ombudsman Anne Mieke Zenvan Van de Velde? Oh, gosh. That's very harsh. Said it would be very legally difficult to prove officers were justified in taking people's coats in the middle of the street. It's not forbidden to walk around in the street. In addition, it is often unclear how such a piece of clothing is made and how old it is. Yeah. I mean, quite true. I mean, there's plenty of places that sell like designer high-end clothing, like resale.
Oh, speaking of things, since I shop at thrift stores with my family, not that I need to, but it's just better clothing. There. It's just cheaper. I don't know. I don't like paying, as we were at Hot Topic. Like I told him the other day, we went to the mall. I was like, we can go to Hot Topic, look at all the overpriced shirts, and then walk out and do nothing, because that's what I always do. And he's like, sure. And then he went and he starts looking through. He's like, these are really overpriced. And I was like, I told you.
So if you want good graphic tees, shop at Queerty. Queeteer.
Maybe we should get sponsored by them, because I do like their
right now, they have an insanity sale going on where you can get a random tee for only $6.
Do they actually have one of those going on again?
Yep, it's going on right now.
Huh.
Otherwise, the normal price are $12 for the first day and then $14 for the second day. They have a variety of rotating graphic tees, and they're always coming out with new ones. Definitely, I would suggest checking it out. And if you buy enough shirts, you can get a shirt free after 10 orders.
So, I mean, that's where I got some of my t-shirts from. I don't wear most of those. I mostly just wear my duds from Loot Crate.
Like as you can see here, my new Rick and Morty Rick shirt from the Loot Crate. I wear my Loot Crate shirts and my Critty shirts because it's just you can't beat $6 shirt.
Yeah, I just wear most of my anime Loot Crate shirts.
And they're usually pretty good shirts. I would suggest getting a size up because they will shrink.
Yeah, always get a size up. That's what I do now. I just shop for XLs. And they continue to shrink as they continue to get washed.
Hashtag not sponsored by Critty.
Yeah, not sponsored by anybody. But anyway, no. There was actually a credit card in my pocket. It was these shorts. I opened up one of these cargo pockets, and I was like, "That feels like a card." I was like, "I thought I gave it back to my mom." So I went into a room and I pulled it out because I went and paid for stuff earlier for her. I was paying for the pizza and stuff last night. And then I was like, I looked at the card, and it's a fucking Continental card. United card, United Airlines card, and I was like, wait a minute, this isn't your card. And I looked at it, and I looked at the date, and I was like, this is somebody's fucking credit card that's just in my shorts. And I was like, what? Ball. Too bad it expired in 2016, or else I might have done illegal things with it.
Oh gosh.
But I was just like, huh. And my mom's like, you see, that's why you gotta watch out whenever you lose cards and stuff. I was like, yep.
I know, it's cancelled everything. If I lose it, it's cancelled within a second.
Yep. And then my mom used to do that, and she'd find them in her room and shit. I don't think I've ever had to cancel any of my cards, except one time I left one here, and I was gone. I was like, fuck, I don't have my card anymore. I was like, oh, canceled it.
Yeah, no, I've not cancelled cards. I've had to... Fraud. I had my credit card stolen 3 times now.
You know, I've never had that happen to me still. Surprisingly.
Mm.
But then again, now, I've read all of the documents about credit card skimmers on gas stations and stuff.
Yeah.
First of all, I only go to Buc-ee's, and, so I've never had a problem. But now I do everything credit and stuff like that.
Yes, definitely. I would suggest, if you're at, a gas pump or something, always run things credit. Because running it credit or debit doesn't really matter. It just runs it through their credit system side instead of the debit system side.
But the big difference is it doesn't give anybody your PIN.
Correct. But also another thing is to actually just use credit cards responsibly. Financial advice from Kenneth. So one of the things you definitely don't want to do is, get a credit card and then rack up tons of debt you can't pay.
Yeah.
Ideally, you should always pay your balance off at the end of the month. You never want to hold the balance on the credit card. It will improve your credit at the same time, and you're assured that if your card gets stolen, you will not be losing thousands of dollars or however much you have in your bank account from various fraud charges that you're going to have to wait 2 weeks to get back from your bank.
Yeah. However, if you use a credit card, from a credit card company, they're pretty good at their fraud services. They'll catch on to stuff and give you your money back relatively quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. I use Chase, and Chase is usually pretty good about catching fraud fairly quickly. Within saying, I'll put the thing in, it'll decline it immediately, and then I'll get a text message. Are you at this location? Reply yes or no. And I'm like, well, then, yeah, I'm here.
I've only had trouble a couple times when I was making expensive purchases. when I was at RTX a couple years ago, and I made a $300 purchase. Like, I hadn't barely used my card the whole time, and then it's like, Rooster Teeth Expo, $300 charge. And like, I got a call a few minutes later, and I was like, yes. Was this you? Does this charge you? And it like goes back, and there was one 6 months ago, and I was like, yes. Because I didn't know. It was like, did you buy this $1.36? I was like, I don't fucking remember. Sure. Did you buy a Kit Kat forever? And I was like, I guess.
Just roll with it, man.
Pretty much.
Yeah, but I don't know how Dutch is going to make this work out. I mean, it definitely does lend itself into racial profiling and...
Yeah, no, it doesn't sound like a good idea. I mean, unless, like, they just... Stop the man asking for his ID, run it, and if he has any priors and he has all these outstanding debt stuff, then maybe.
I suppose so, but that's kind of
just going, that guy looks too poor to wear that, and start ripping his clothes in the middle of the street, that's a no-no.
I'm sure they would check and see.
The article didn't make it sound like they were going to check.
Yeah, it really didn't. But I would assume they would,
Yeah. Like any proper
But this just, I mean, you also got to consider this is Europe, so they actually have human rights there that they actually respect, and police that aren't terrible.
Do they?
Yes.
Huh.
Unless you're in Romania, in which case everybody in that country is corrupt. And all the Romanians know it. It's actually kind of crazy, some of the corruption. It's killing the agricultural industry.
Interesting. Alrighty. French Parliament gives citizens the right to make mistakes. Ooh, this is interesting. Mm-hmm. Just from that title. The French government has officially acknowledged that there is to err is, I assume that's to err, is human for citizens when dealing with officials and bureaucracy. Legislation passed a show of hands in the Assemblée Nationale in Paris allows for the right to make mistakes without being punished. However, government's patience is limited. Citizens will be forgiven just one error, and only if made in good faith. It is founded on the principle that members of the public and companies should be considered to be acting in good faith until proven otherwise.
See, isn't that like a good government?
Yeah, I was like, that's kind of a good
thing. They're like,
thing.
oh no, I accidentally fucked up on this form, and it went through. And the government's like, did you actually accidentally do this? And I'm like, yes, okay, we're going to fix it. And then
our government, did you accidentally do this? Yes. All right, well,
you're going to federal prison.
You lied on a federal form. Fuck you. Well, that's what I was saying. Like, our law is super strict. It's just like, you didn't... So what if you did that? You didn't follow the law to the letter. I'm like, you guys don't either. No, but we're above the law, because that's how that works.
We are the law.
Pretty much. Anyway... It's founded on the principle that members of the public, good faith, but otherwise, French companies will also have the right to ask the authorities to check their accounts and fiscal declarations to ensure they are conforming with the law. I mean, that sounds fine. Those who are not could be given a warning rather than punishment. Darmanin said the government had listened to French people who liked their public service but not their administration. The right to make a mistakes clause, as it's called, calls for a state at the service of a trusted society. Proposed legislation to shake up French administration covers a diverse range of subjects from the exploration and exploitation of geothermal energy and making charitable donations to churches to remove the need to prove a home address when applying for a passport.
So basically the French government's like, we actually trust our citizenship and understand that they can make mistakes and will allow it once.
French people are real people too, basically.
And they're assholes in the city. That's what everybody says.
Do what?
That French people are assholes?
Well, yes. The French people are assholes. French Canadians are assholes.
French Canadians are super assholes. That's where all the Canadian anger and hatred just flows into Quebec.
Quebec. It's French for salt.
So this is actually an update to a story we covered earlier. Not earlier today, but just earlier in the series. So, as you may know, Fox is being broken up and sold, with the majority of Fox's properties being sold to Disney.
Everybody's a Disney princess now.
Yep. Klinger from MASH, Disney princess.
Is MASH a fucking Fox show?
Yes. Yep. And Klinger's a Disney princess now.
Everybody's a Disney princess.
Yeah. But however, Rupert Murdoch's Sky bid is not in the public interest, says the regulator. Rupert Murdoch's £11.7 billion bid to take full control of Sky could be blocked after the UK competition regulator said that the deal would give his family too much control over the UK news media. The Competition and Markets Authority said the 21st Century Fox's bid to take control of the 61% of Sky it doesn't already own was not in the public interest due to concerns about media plurality. The CMA has set out 3 options for the deal that should be considered in a new consultation.
I mean, it's like an FCC that actually does its job and works.
What? Yep. That it is blocked, that Sky News is spun off or sold, or that Sky News is insulated from the influence of the Murdoch Family Trust. Interesting. Because actually, if you know anything about Rupert Murdoch, he actually has a media empire in the UK, controlling 41% of Sky, controlling The Sun, controlling not Metro, but one of the other newspapers, but he controls a lot of the newspaper, radio, and TV. And giving him all of Sky, which is a major broadcaster in the UK, would give him quite a great amount of control over the UK media and essentially UK public opinion. Because as you all know, people are sheep.
Sheeple! Sheeple! Mrrr.
Yep. Sky has previously said that it will review the future of Sky News, which employs about 500 staff, if the deal is blocked before closing it down, would immediately eliminate media plurality issues blocking the deal. So basically, Sky is threatening to fire over 500 people if they don't get the deal. Frankly, if I was the UK, I'm actually going to say right here, the SNP MP Brenda O'Hara accused Sky of using its staff as pawns in the takeover to try and coerce the competition regulator and the culture secretary Matt Hancock into clearing the deal.
Yep.
Yeah, no, absolutely. They're
basically holding the company hostage.
No, holding the news staff hostage.
Well, yeah, it's still the company, and
yeah, but Sky is so big they can kill off the news and keep running with no problem.
I suppose it's true.
See, because Sky does like a bunch of entertainment and all kinds of stuff. They're like the biggest UK broadcaster outside of the BBC.
The BBC.
This is the BBC. The greatest disaster that could befall plurality of media in this country would be if Sky News were to be closed by its new owner, said John Whittingdale, a former culture secretary in the House of Commons on Tuesday. Anna Lambert, the chair of the CMA's investigative group, said media plurality goes to the heart of our democratic process. It is very important that no group or individual should have too much control of our news media or too much power to affect the public agenda.
I wonder. It's as if the SEC should do that.
Yeah.
I thought they do, but I guess they really don't.
No, they really don't.
Now they don't. All they care about is fucking up the internet now, because the internet's the future.
Yep.
TV's been gone already.
Yes.
People don't watch TV as much.
And actually, if you've been here a long time viewer, you may know we've covered the Sinclair Broadcasting Group, which controls, I believe, approximately 35% of all news and broadcast stations across the country. And they recently wished to merge with another major broadcaster, which would have given them 60-something% of the entire media market. It was blocked, I believe, but still, the fact that any one company could control 30% of all broadcasts that go out is insane.
They control what you see and what you do. I mean, the news could be fake.
The news is definitely manufactured in some cases.
Or written in such a way that it spins things in a direction. As we hear point out every now and again.
Yeah.
And I try to do that.
No. This is actually a really interesting story that I want to cover. So, again, if you're a long-time viewer, this one you may recognize. But as you know, through our past year of broadcast, we've been covering a lot of green news coming out of China.
Ah, yes, China.
And this is actually quite exciting. So China has officially installed 52.83 gigawatts of solar in 2017.
Clean Technica. Is that like...
That's like Ars Technica, but for green energy.
I was going to say, is it actually?
Yeah, they're
nice.
a subsidiary of them.
China's national...
No, I'm covering it.
Huh? Oh. Yeah. You keep trying to like take multiple stories. I'm trying to keep you from doing that. I'll let you take as many stories as you want, and I'll just sit here. I'm cool. I'm down. I'm game.
No,
I'll just turn the camera back over to you so you can just cover the news, and I'll just sit here. I just run the show.
Run the background of it.
Yeah.
So China's installed 34.2 gigawatts of
I wish
new
I
solar.
had a green screen background, like over the fire pit part, so I could just do this and have it timed to where it would just come on fire. And fucking magic.
Boom, has a...
There's hair in my fucking...
Does that really surprise you?
I think it's my hair.
Has installed 34.2 gigawatts in 2016, which was well up on analyst expectations at the time. Right now, China, with all of the energy they're producing, which at current mark is 130.25 gigawatts of power, is enough to power nearly 1 million homes.
Nice.
And is currently around 7.3% of the country's national power generation. So China in total has added 133 gigawatts worth of new power generation in 2017, including 12.8 gigawatts worth of hydro and 45.78 gigawatts worth of thermal. This means that for the first time in the country's history, China has installed more clean energy than it did thermal power. So it's actually really exciting. Apparently, they've been increasing their clean energy production by about 50 to 60% year on year. I mean, if China keeps up at this rate, they will go
fully green.
Yeah, they'll be eventually a full green country, or at least mostly green, within 20 years or less. Because, I mean, they're at 7.3 already, and they've only been doing this for about 3 or 4 years now. So, you expand on that. It's going to be quite good for the country. Look at China, leading world leader in green energy.
After also being the world leader in production and everything.
Yep.
Alright then. Now on to U.S. news as I change the topic here, so that I can begin my reading. Us. This news impacts us. Larry Nassar sentenced to 40 to 175 years in sexual assault case. I'm assuming we're going to roll video. That's a prepared video here. Is this the video?
Mm-hmm. One of them. It's a two video.
Is it a 2 video?
Yeah, but we'll just roll this one first and then the other one.
Oh, okay, I see. It's just separate links. I was about to sneeze, but I didn't. Alright.
It is my privilege on counts 1, 2, 5, 8, 10, and 18. And 24.
For folks of you who haven't heard, and I should have had a brief introduction to this. So Larry Nassar was an American Olympics doctor who was accused of molesting over 100 different Olympic athletes and girls throughout his many years working with a college and as an independent doctor. And this is his sentencing for multiple sexual assault charges and child pornography.
To sentence you to 40 years, and when I look at my cheat sheet, 40 years, just so you know and you can count it off your calendar, is 480 months. the tail end, because I need to send a message to the parole board in the event somehow God is gracious, and I know He is, and you survived the 60 years in federal court first, and then you started my 40 years?
What she's mentioning there is he previously pled guilty, or he was found with having child pornography and charged on it in federal court for 60 years.
You've gone off the page here as to what I'm doing. My page only goes to 100 years. Sir, I'm giving you 175 years, which is 2,100 months.
Yeah.
I've just signed your death warrant. I need everyone to be quiet. I still have contempt powers. I told you I'm not nice. I find that you don't get it, that you're a danger. You remain a danger. I am a judge who believes in life and rehabilitation when rehabilitation is possible. I have many defendants come back.
So that was that first video. Now we're going to roll a second one, which gives a bit more detail. So yes, he's going to have 235 years worth of...
Nobody look, nobody pay attention, just behind the scenes.
Don't look at the man behind the mirror.
I'm giving you 175 years, which is 2,100 months.
I mean, he looks already old as shit.
I find that you don't get it, that you're a danger. You remain a danger.
Yeah, no, I mean, it took quite a while for this to come forward.
The FBI investigated them in 2015 and found nothing substantial because it was medical. Now they are seeking the media attention and financial reward.
Yes, he actually wrote a letter to the judge asking if
you lied to me and
to not have to hear the victim's statements. He was so emotionally hurt by hearing it. So he wrote to the judge to not have to.
manipulated me to think that when you treated me, you were closing your eyes because you had been working hard when you were really touching me, an innocent child, to pleasure yourself.
Yeah, so that man will never get out of prison. But if he survives prison...
You'll never see the light of day.
Nope.
That's good. Good story.
It's definitely good that he was caught and prosecuted to apparently longer than her cheat sheet goes.
To the fullest extent of the law. Yeah, but there was multiple counts, as you heard, and multiple people came forward, so yeah.
150.
Yeah.
Oof.
Alright.
Well, then back to Baltimore. Good old Baltimore.
Great.
Coming up in the
You know,
news
this is
again.
not surprising with as many times we've covered Baltimore police, but supposedly shocking cop corruption trial kicks off in Baltimore. Shocking, I'm sure, to most people that haven't been keeping up with it. Not shocking at all to me here. Probably not Kenneth. Because
I'll be shocked if they get prosecuted.
I'll be shocked if they actually... No, I won't even get shocked if they get prosecuted. I'll get shocked if they actually receive punishment.
Yeah,
because that's what happens. Yes. Yeah, they can be prosecuted. They're being prosecuted to the full extent of the law. All right, so
slap on the wrist.
Yeah,
you did nothing wrong.
So, all right, you're going to jail for a day. See you guys
for
luncheon day.
No. You're going to jail for a day, but for time served, you're off.
Yeah. A former Baltimore police detective took the stand Tuesday as opening arguments began in the trial of two Baltimore police detectives who were members to a corrupt undercover gun trace task force. They are accused of robbery, racketeering, and collecting overtime for hours not served, among other charges. Detectives Daniel Herschel, I'm assuming, and Marcus Taylor pleaded not guilty to the charges, obviously, but 6 other officers charged have already pleaded guilty, with several expected to testify for the prosecution. The Baltimore Police Department has also been in turmoil since the death of Freddie Gray, a 25-year-old African-American man who died in police custody after being handcuffed and transported in the back of a police van 3 years ago. The incident caused protest and an investigation by the Department of Justice, which found a pattern or practice of civil rights violations within the department. So, aka, you want to do fucked up shit? Oh, we don't do it in Baltimore. Mayor Catherine I don't even know. Mayor Catherine announced the firing of a former commissioner, Kevin Davis, on Friday. Daryl D'Souza has assumed the role. He is the 3rd police commissioner in the city in nearly 3 years. 1 a year. Rinse, repeat, baby.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm actually quite surprised that 6 officers pleaded guilty, and I hope they will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Since they pleaded guilty, maybe something will actually be done. And hopefully these 2 detectives that are pleading not guilty will be put on trial and as an example to the rest of the police force that what they have done is so unacceptable.
It depends on the people that said they're guilty, if they rat them out or not. Snitches
no, they are.
Stitches.
That's what it says here. So 6 of the officers are going to be expected to testify.
Yes, they're going to testify, but not necessarily against those 2.
Well, no, they will be, because they're testifying for the prosecution.
Mm.
And that's usually to get leaner sentences.
Yeah, it's probably some sort of plea bargain.
Yeah, so...
Which, as a police officer, you should know better than to trust plea bargains. Plea bargains are a fucking joke, mainly.
Mm-hmm. Even if you get it in writing.
Yep.
Anyways, so, recently, on Tuesday, there was a shooting at the Marshall County High School where a 15-year-old boy shot 12 people Tuesday morning at a southwestern Kentucky high school.
As the joke about all of the countries goes, the angry school shooters come from here.
Kentucky Governor Matt Bevin said a 15-year-old boy and 15-year-old girl died. Kentucky State Police said 20 people were affected by the shooting, 15 of whom suffered gunshot wounds. The victims ranged from 14 to 18. Later, the police identified the 2 15-year-old victims as Bailey Nicole Holt, who died at the scene, and Preston Ryan Cope, who died at an area hospital. The two of the wounded were shot in the head, says CBS News and Adriana Diaz. This is the nation's first fatal school shooting of 2018, which makes it sound like there's going to be more.
The suspect in the incident.
Yes, sorry. The suspect in the incident at Marshall County High School in Benton, Kentucky, has been apprehended according to the officials with the Marshall County Emergency Management. Hopefully this will be the last.
Our county's the same way. It's MCEM for Matagorda County Emergency Management.
Hopefully this will be the last school shooting of the year. But I don't
Probably not. It's the beginning of the year. It's impossible.
Yeah, starting off strong.
Nah, it's not strong. Those are rookie numbers. Gotta pump those numbers up.
So what, Sandy Hook?
How many was Sandy Hook?
That's a good question.
I don't know. I say when you get to like the number of 100 deaths or injuries, you're probably doing pretty good.
I don't know if any school shooters ever injured or shot 100 people.
Really?
It's hard to hit 100 people in a school, man. Hell, the Las Vegas shooter...
500.
Yeah, he did 500.
Because he fired into a crowd of people.
Because he fired into a dense crowd of people of thousands.
Yes.
So that's what it would take. And there's never a time when there's a group of thousands of school people.
Actually...
But enough about that, because we don't sound like school shooters. Hell, I work for a school district.
I did.
He did.
I've also been in trouble for pointing out glaring security problems before.
Mm-hmm. So, the police were seen leading a teenager away in handcuffs. The shooter will be charged with murder and multiple counts of attempted murder,
Yep,
according to the
obvious.
Kentucky Police Commissioner Richard W. Sanders. Sanders said during a press conference earlier Tuesday that the suspect entered the school...
Wait, hold on. It's Kentucky? His last name's Sanders? It's Colonel Sanders! I had to make that connection there.
Commissioner Sanders. Yeah. Kentucky, actually, I found out that being a Kentucky colonel is actually an honorary title issued by the governor.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It's the title implies that...
Was Colonel Sanders actually a Kentucky colonel?
Yes.
Really?
He's actually
no
a Kentucky
shit.
colonel. Yes.
No shit, it's real.
Yes, it's absolutely real. He was given that title, and Kentucky colonels are given that title to promote the state and the goodwill of the state and of the people.
Wow.
So he was deemed honorable enough for the state of Kentucky to merit that title from the governor.
And then he turned it into a chicken franchise, and the chicken's pretty good. I like their seasonings.
I haven't had the KFC chicken in ages.
Yeah, we had some the other day. It's still always good. It's the seasoning, man. The seasoning's
yeah,
right.
Seasoning is usually pretty good. Yep. So yes, the suspect entered the school at 7:57 a.m. and opened fire with a handgun. Wow.
No wonder why they did it to me. Makes sense.
Sanders said the first 911 call came in 2 minutes later, and the police were on scene by 8:06. So it took them 9 minutes to get there. 7 minutes after the first 911 call, and I'm sure they probably had a lot of people coming, so it takes some time to coordinate that.
Yeah. And not only when they get on scene, they can't just rush into the school.
Yeah, they have to
suit
assess
up.
the scene and suit up and see what the hell's going on. So that's about decent response time. I guess.
Yeah.
Doctors at Vanderbilt University Medical Center in Nashville, Tennessee, said the hospital's trauma center received 5 patients from the shooting at Marshall County High School. They were all boys from ages 15 to 18. One of the teens died. So, current death count's at 3.
I thought it was at 2.
Well, this was earlier reporting was at 2, because 2 immediately died on the scene, which was
probably both the headshot victims.
Both the headshot victims. And this one died at the hospital in Nashville.
I wonder what it's going to be. I wonder if it's going to be like, you stole my girlfriend from me.
I suppose we'll find out. Because, it sounds like it's just a random... Because from what I was reading of the story, it was just... Who he shot at was just a group of people waiting in, like a foyer kind of thing at a school. Mm. Kind of like how people at the beginning of the school, they just gathered around, like, the cafeteria outer edges. It was essentially that.
So you just walk up and just was like, all right, let's get a killing.
Pretty much.
Interesting. We'll see if he had a reason or not.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll find it. Then again, they didn't find it for the Las Vegas shooter.
They did what?
They didn't find the reason for the Las Vegas shooter. And who knows if they ever will.
I still feel like a lot of the things in Las Vegas shooting still didn't add up to me, didn't make sense. Especially how he got access to thousands of pounds of ammonium nitrate on top of all of the guns and all of the ammo and all the magazines he had that he brought into the hotel. Like,
I don't think he brought thousands of pounds. I know they said they found some in his car.
They found a lot in his car.
Yeah, but not thousands.
Not thousands of pounds. But
it's like 20 or 30 pounds.
Still, that's still like not not.
Is that a heavily regulated substance?
Semi. It's suspicious when people buy a lot of pounds.
Well, and you also have to remember the guy's a multi-millionaire. If he wants shit, he can find people and source it where they ain't gonna ask questions.
Well, that's the other thing is the dude had so much money. The dude had all of these things.
He was extremely wealthy. Yeah, that's the thing. The entire Vegas shooter is quite unusual because he's a very wealthy person, quite successful, good with numbers.
Do you want the rest of this?
He kept to himself.
I still believe it was an inside job.
He was kind of
eccentric.
Well, yeah, kind of, but he's also a very private person. So, there were signs there of somebody.
A Filipino wife, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know. Just like all the amount of things that just don't add up.
The Filipino wife doesn't add up?
Well, on top of everything, on top of all of his money, all of the places he went to, all the places he stayed, all of the casinos he went to, all of that shit, it just doesn't add up, man.
I just don't get what you don't get that doesn't add up.
Then again, you are Kenneth and you don't see things like I see things.
Yeah, well, we are two different people.
That's true.
So of course he would see things differently.
Yeah.
I mean, I still don't know what the hell his motive is, and I don't know if anybody will ever find out what his motive.
Well, I mean, that's one of those things that doesn't add up to his supposed nice motive. Yeah, he had a motive because you don't just go and do that.
Yeah, nobody just does that. But he's dead, and I guess they didn't find anything on his computer, so they haven't said anything.
Yeah, and they didn't find anything in the life.
No.
Everybody that knew him just was like, he's just a quiet guy. Nobody even suspected he was weird. The HOA was pissed off that he put up a fence. That's about it.
Yeah,
the
and
HOA
his
was pissed
neighbors
off at
were
anything.
fenced up. Well, yeah, and his neighbors were pissed off.
That's probably the HOA too. Because didn't they say it was against? Like the neighbors like, nobody does that here. And it's just like,
We don't like that. He's very proud.
we don't like that he put up a fence around his property. And I'm
Apparently
over here
it's a very
from
tall
Texas,
fence.
and it's like normal, put up fences around your property. And I'm like, what of it? Oh no, he doesn't want people looking into his life. Damn, I guess I can't sit up on my second floor with my fucking binocular staring out the window all day anymore. I'm gonna have to find out something new to do. Like,
Yeah.
fucking white people. That's all I can say.
Of course, they're all very nosy people.
They really
Nothing
are.
better to do.
But anyway.
Anyways, this is hilarious.
Yeah, I was about to laugh at this. I saw the title and left. The U.S. Navy's newest ship is trapped in Canada. I say it's Canada, but I call it Canadian. America's hat. I mean, it's America's hat. We'll get it out somehow. It's just like reaching up and pulling a rabbit out of our hat. It's all good. The U.S. Navy's latest ship, the USS Little Rock, obviously it's not that little, is trapped in Montreal thanks to fast-moving ice. A short stay in Canada could last as long as 4 months until the ice melts and allows the Little Rock to join the rest of the Navy. See, if they really wanted this ship, they'd get an icebreaker in there and they wouldn't give a shit.
That's what I thought too, but is there some reason an icebreaker can't make it there?
I don't think so. I think an icebreaker literally just breaks ice. I don't think it really gives a shit. I don't know. Actually,
Because that's what I thought too, but the government's just like, and the Navy's like, well, see you in 4 months.
Well, the other part of it is our government's not the best when it comes to military resources, so it's like, fuck it, leave it there. It's like all the other stuff we spend money on. Exactly. It's
So
like, oh no,
it's
one of our newest
We'll deal with
ships, we'll just pop the other one out of California Bay now. And it's like, because I'm sure there's more than just that one. I thought multiple ships went into production.
Well, I think this one was,
Is this the new one that has either the railgun or the lasers on it?
I think so.
Yeah. I still think my railgun technology is real. I mean, obviously it is, but I want bigger than whatever they have. Even though their railgun technology apparently goes, like, a few miles and some change. The Victor 6, try pulling the blankets back to your side. Let's see. Oh, right. See, Katie would say the same thing, but then I'm just like, no. Well, apparently you experienced that. I'm just like, no.
Yeah.
No. To get anal about that. But yeah. The USS Little Rock is designed to operate off coastlines and in shallow water. Littoral combat ships can carry out anti-submarine, anti-mine, anti-surface, and amphibious warfare missions. Little Rock and her sister ships are small, fast, and agile. Is the Little Rock one of those weird, like, 3-ship things? It's got 3 different spots. I
don't think so. It looks like it's just a single ship.
Well, it's a single ship, but it's like...
What's that?
Why is that made for just shallow water?
Because it's supposed to stick along coastlines.
Yes. I mean, it's a big-ass ship still. With, like, odd things. There's no guns.
It does have guns.
There, that one. And there's the CIWS. It looks like it's mostly fucking radar and things of that nature. It's got CIWS, it's got nothing on this side. So I'm just like looking at this. That's a different ship. That's the Navy's new... yeah, I don't know, it's like missing a lot of things. It's so weird. It's a weird looking ship. It looks like a giant engine in this area, and there's just ship. It's also got, for some reason, it's got stealth features. It's got sloped plating. And there's nothing at the back. You know,
Just
realistically,
Wikipedia it.
realistically, it's not a. There we go. There we go. I'm assuming that's in Canada. It's in ice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very low too.
Yeah, see,
Maybe that's also why they can't just get an icebreaker out there.
maybe because it shows here it's not too low. Like that's the water level, but for some reason in that picture it's like the same water level. No, it looks like it's lower.
Definitely a lot lower.
Maybe that's what its deal is. What the hell? Hold up. Are those torpedo tubes? Nah, maybe. I don't know. Maybe that's why. Maybe it could fucking sink itself and then shoot things underwater. That's weird. Yeah, it looks more like a Freedom class littoral combat ship. What the fuck is a littoral combat ship? I know a lot about ships and I've never heard of a littoral combat ship.
Yeah, it's a new one. It's a Wikipedia article.
What is this, 45 knots? Huh. Oh, it's a landing craft? That's weird. Special cost 350. 5th Freedom variant, LCS. Built by Lockheed Martin, then Freedom variant, LCS to date.
Anyways.
Yeah, I don't know. Weird. They're tiny
Yeah,
ships.
continue the story.
Yep. Anyway. Ultimately, for the crew, the ship was not agile enough to escape the rapidly advancing winter ice. Well, yeah, obviously. It goes slow. Boats are slow. Commissioned in Buffalo, New York on December 16th, the ship stopped in Montreal for a routine visit before heading the East Coast via the St. Lawrence Seaway. Once in Montreal, a historic cold snap caused sea ice to fall faster than expected. You mean the cold snap that fucked with all of us this year?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, also, I saw there's a predictive weather map that we might be getting sleet and shit on February 2nd again.
Oh.
I don't know if we're getting it, but most of Texas is getting it.
Mm.
Anyway, yeah. The St. Lawrence Seaway is the only way in and out of the Great Lakes to the open ocean, and it typically stays closed until March. The Navy has accepted that the 389-foot-long, 3,400-ton Little Rock will be able to get underway through our home port of Mayport, Florida, until the Seaway reopens. Yeah. Yep, that sounds like you guys are kind of boned there. They're just like, yeah, fuck it, we'll leave it. That poor crew, though, they're like, oh yeah, we'll be home in a couple months, honey. Now I'm stuck here. And now the government's just going to do nothing but leave us here. Basically.
Yeah, just like we've got the heaters on, and we're going to give you some cold weather clothing. Have a fun 4 months.
Yeah. Shit, it's like they get to basically live like submariners. It's like, oh yeah, we're underneath the polar ice caps for 6-month rotations. Oof. The amount of cabin fever and just insanity.
Well, the nice thing is they're in Canada, so they can just go. They get
yeah,
shore
they could
leave.
probably get shore leave in Canada and just go fuck around in Canada.
Pretty much.
Yep.
So
there you go.
it's not too terrible. All right. So as you may know,
I promise I'm not an alcoholic.
Yeah, he just drank an entire bottle himself.
Pull the rest of it. I usually drink close to the bottom myself. Kenneth drinks one glass, and I'm over here
Yeah, because I have to drive home. Not that an entire bottle of wine would get me super drunk, but
it would definitely interfere with the drive, I'm sure.
probably wouldn't be advisable.
I don't know. I wish everyone was blood alcohol testers in the check.
Yeah, they're pretty cheap. I'm thinking about ordering one eventually. Yep.
Speaking of car, guys, I'm specifically 1 point under wasted enough to drive. Let's do it.
So, as you may have known from the story we covered last week, and that's been making the rounds in the news, of the children who were kept chained and tortured to their beds by their parents. In a tragic case, the children rescued in California captivity, the case will be split into foster care. The 6 minors who were found shackled in the California home will be split up between 2 foster homes. The Riverside County will be granted conservatorship over the 7 adult siblings, and they will be transferred to an assisted living facility for adults. A source close to the investigation told CBS News' David Begnod last week that the siblings specifically asked social workers if they could stay together after being freed. Prosecutors said that in addition to the beatings, the siblings were also restrained by ropes. And it says, here's a quote from the district attorney, that once the children were able to escape the ropes, the defendants eventually began using chains and padlocks to chain up the victims up to their bed. These punishments would last months at a time. They alleged the siblings were not allowed to use the bathroom, they were only allowed to take a shower once a year, and they were only allowed to wash their hands above their wrist. They were fed very little and kept a strict schedule. The parents were also accused of taunting them, psychological manipulation, by putting pies on the counter and not letting them eat them. The siblings had not seen a doctor in years and they'd never seen a dentist. Workers say their adjustment to society will be challenging. They lack basic knowledge of life. Many of the children don't know what a police officer was. They also, whenever the police went in to the house initially, they asked the citizens, the children, if there was any medicines or pills, and they had no knowledge of what medicine or pills were. So these children have been kept on a very strict and uninformative thing. And they're also talking about how the older sibling who was attending college, they had spoke to some of his classmates, and apparently his classmates said he was a very shy, quiet individual who looked haggard, always wore the same clothing. And they said, one of the students said that they did an international potluck, and how the poor guy, he stayed by the table. He just kept going back for plate after plate of food. Because, of course, he was starving from not having eaten anything.
Surprised that somebody could live so long at the college level and not, and be going to college and not.
Well, his mother always stayed right outside the door.
Of college?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's what they said, is that he attended the classes and his mother just took a seat outside the college classroom and waited for him for the class to end.
Yeah, that's weird.
So, the parents were extremely controlling, and I'm kind of surprised they let the kid go to college anyways.
They're beyond helicopter. I don't know. I think it worse. It's worse than helicopter.
Psychological manipulation and dictatorship?
Yeah, but what's worse than a helicopter? I don't know, is it jet? Tank? Tank parents? Yeah, probably tanks. Unwielding, unmoving, destructive. Yeah.
So. Yeah. Don't be a tank parent.
There you go. Towards local news. I don't know why you put this in local.
Because it's local to Philadelphia. Okay. It's local news to the areas.
I suppose.
But
anyway, as I brought up earlier this week, when me and Kenneth were talking, safe injection sites to fight opioid overdose deaths, green light from Philadelphia officials. After a year in which overdoses outstripped the murder rate by 4-1. Ooh, interesting. Librarians ran outside to save people from overdosing, and makeshift heroin camps sprawled under bridges and on street corners. Philadelphia city officials Tuesday took their most radical step yet against the opioid crisis. Shall we roll the video first?
Yes.
Alrighty,
Just weeks after Governor Wolf declared a state emergency on the opioid epidemic, the city of Philadelphia announced plans to encourage the opening of safe injection sites where people can inject drugs off the streets under medical supervision.
We are facing an epidemic of historic proportions.
Yeah, that's it.
People of the city of Philadelphia, our brothers, our sisters, our parents, our children, are dying.
That room's fucking roof is collapsing.
Mayor Jim Kenney commented on the announcement at a
also that was a
my issue is more of compassion and trying to make sure that people don't inject themselves and fall out on the street and die.
A safe injection site has never been open in the United States. Now, Philadelphia, where frontline workers responded to as many as 10,000 overdose incidents in 2016, could become the first city to host one.
Wow.
Yep, so that's enough for this.
Underneath the L.
Philly looks pretty ghetto.
Yeah, no, Philly looks like a shithole. And I'm not saying that because Donald Trump just said that.
Did he say that?
Yeah, he said
shithole countries, like the one we have.
Like the one we have, and he's not doing much to make it better.
We are shithole companies. Ah, yes, NVIDIA. Are we covering that?
What?
The part where NVIDIA is telling companies to play nice and to stop fucking over
people? No, we're not, but yes, they have.
Yeah, that's the thing. Mm-hmm. NVIDIA's like, hey, like, gamers, man. Like, come on, think about the gamers. Even though normally they're like, oh, no, we're good releasing the same card with barely any buffs, every couple years and fucking over the gamers. But, like, doubling the prices on everything after our MSRP, nah. We're not okay with that.
Doubling, tripling, hell. Quadrupling in some cases. It's insane.
Yep. They're declared to do what no other U.S. city has done. Establish medically supervised facilities where people can inject drugs, be revived if they overdose, and then be helped into treatment. The city will not operate the sites at the locations yet to be determined, but will encourage private organizations to take on the task. Farley and others emphasize that the sites are just one aspect of what must be a major coordinated response to a crisis that took an estimated 1,200 lives last year, the highest death rate of any major U.S. city.
I mean, it's killing more people than fucking gun deaths in that city.
Welcome to the hard drugs, the hard drugs. City officials have been searching and debating the idea for the better part of a year, visiting a site in Vancouver, which I was going to bring up here, is like, that's what Canada did, and it seemed to work well for them.
Yep.
And commissioning a report on evidence collected in Canada and Europe. Its conclusion, a single site in Philadelphia would save 25 to 75 lives a year and millions of dollars in hospital costs and public funds while reducing public injection of drugs and other neighborhood problems.
I mean, isn't that crazy? I mean, just a single site will save the taxpayers millions and will save 25 to 75 lives.
Does it say it will save millions?
Yes, that's there. So it'll save millions in cost in hospital. So, I mean, one of these facilities, well, the government isn't running it, the city's not running it, and they are encouraging private organizations to run it, like is in Vancouver. And I mean, it's going to be great for the public, especially to get all these drug users off the streets.
We don't want people in addiction dying on the street, and we want to have the place to administer Narcan if necessary.
Yes, because if you may not know, Narcan is a fucking miracle which stops people from overdosing nearly instantaneously. It's fantastic.
Set up the rescue meditation. City officials handed out 21,700 doses of the drug last year, without which the death toll would have likely been higher. Cat, what are you doing? There's a cat behind my monitor playing shit. Come here. Hey. Here you go. Come here, cat. Hey. What are you doing? Come here. I mean, that's a way to get there, I guess.
No, that works.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, but Narcan is very good. Hopefully the prices will go down. I think it's actually kind of expensive, but for the city to have handed out 21,000 doses? I mean, just imagine. I mean, that death toll would have been probably quadruple more if it didn't have Narcan.
Yeah.
Anyways, so, first off, fuck Bank of America. Yeah.
First off, fuck a bank. I know how that feels.
No more free checking for Bank of America customers with low balances.
Dark Shadow is now following.
Hold on. Thank you, Dark Shadow, for following. How long ago was that notification?
What?
How long ago was the notification?
Looks like it was instant.
It was instant.
Okay, good. So yes, Bank of America has eliminated a free checking account popular with lower income customers. Excuse me. The Charlotte, North Carolina-based bank said it moved to e-banking customers into accounts that would require them to keep a minimum balance of $1,500 or set up a monthly direct deposit of $250 or more in order to avoid a maintenance fee of $12 a month.
Yeah, I hate banks that do that. That's why I don't like Woodforce and all them.
It's pretty ridiculous. I mean, it costs a bank next to nothing just to hold your damn money for you.
Yeah. The only time it ever costs a bank anything is if somebody takes out a loan and skips out on it.
Yeah.
Realistically.
And I mean, and with the destruction of Glass-Steagall, banks can then fucking play with your money in the investment market and lose it all.
What?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, yeah. All again...
No. Before Glass-Steagall, there was two separate piles of money. You know, there's depositor money, money that we put in, money that is insured by the FDIC and protected, and that's our money. Banks can't play with it. You know. But they decided, you know what, fuck that shit, we're going to change, we're going to have the laws change and do it. And that's what they did. They were able to successfully lobby Congress and get Glass-Steagall and other various banking laws repealed. And then they could play with depositor money all they like. And then, if they report it lost or whatever, well, the FDIC backs it up.
Yeah.
Which is a bad thing.
I mean, it's a bad thing.
They shouldn't be playing with depositor money.
No,
I don't put my money in there for the bank just to
I already know that all
with it.
money is ones and zeros at this point, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it does.
That's me. Not whenever
you need
ones
to keep the
and
money,
zeros could be manufactured.
Keep the money separate, goddammit.
Doesn't matter. Ones and zeros could be manufactured separately. What are you doing?
Anyways,
what are you doing? You're about to hop on my head.
E-checking, which launched in 2010, had a monthly fee of $8.95. The customers could avoid that fee by using online banking and not using a teller. So basically doing online banking in an ATM. And hey, there's no fees. That's nice. The move leaves few options for low-income customers of the big banks who either aren't able to get that much money into their checking account, or don't use direct deposits, or get paid through some other method like PayPal. Well, quite. I mean, it's ridiculous the Bank of America's doing this. But, I mean, and people are protesting it. There is a change.org petition out there petitioning them to stop this change. I don't think it will do anything. They just want more money, and fuck if they can't just print it.
Yep.
Anyways, this is some good news out of Vermont.
Yep. Going through the state of the Sanders. Vermont governor signs marijuana legalization into law. Vermont is officially the 9th state to legalize marijuana and the first to end cannabis prohibition through an act of lawmakers.
Correct.
Is that actually correct?
Yes, it is.
Why is that?
The other 8 states have legalized marijuana as a voter's ballot.
Ah, okay. I personally believe that what adults do behind closed doors and on private property is their choice. Boom shakalaka! I love that already. I like this guy because I believe the same way. As long as it does not negatively impact the health and safety of others, especially children. Well, smoking does, but if you use smoking lamps or something, it's not as bad. Kind of. Anyway, but that's pretty funny. It said in a statement accompanying a legislation bill he signed into law on Monday. Under the legislation's provisions, people over 21 years of age will be allowed to legally possess up to 1 ounce. See, they stuck with the 21 years of age thing, like alcohol.
Mm-hmm. Which is good, because, as they found, if you smoke under the age of 18, it does cause, your growth to hamper. Or development of your brain, I should say. More accurate.
Interesting. Under the legislation, to grow... Wait, what? Okay. Possess up to 1 ounce of marijuana and grow as many as 2 mature and 4 immature... so people can even grow their own. That's awesome.
With the change of legislation, they're actually not allowed to sell it, but they can grow it.
That's even better than all the other states. Because then, you're full organic. I'm sure some people will sell it anyway, probably. But, not bad.
Yeah.
Cool. Commercial marijuana sales will not be allowed under the new law, which is set to take effect on January 1st. So they just made it not commercially available.
Yes.
So they can't have dispensaries.
They can't have dispensaries, but you can grow it and probably share it.
Yeah. That's so weird. So they did away with dispensaries and shit entirely. I guess so because they don't want to make a new group of people to run around and inspect, is this weed good or not, kind of thing. Mm-hmm. They also, I think, don't want because I believe tobacco companies are thinking about getting into it. I think that's what they want.
Yeah, tobacco companies do want to get into it because they understand it's a new lucrative market for people, and it's very hip and new and not cigarettes.
Yeah, but the problem is you gotta be worried about what the tobacco companies are going to start adding into those to...
You would hope nothing.
But realistically...
But these are cigarette companies, so it'll probably be I don't know, what's the name for the combination of tobacco and weed?
Spliff.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's what they will probably be selling.
Yeah.
So you get addicted to the marijuana and the nicotine from the tobacco.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I think, actual tobacco necessarily isn't addictive. Actual...
No. It actually is. The nicotine hits, certain receptors in your brain. It's an addictive substance.
I thought the nicotine was an additive.
I mean, it affects certain neurotransmitters.
No. I thought nicotine was an additive to tobacco. Because you can have, I don't know, can you have non-nicotine tobaccos? You can have non-menthol, stuff like that. Which Kenneth, as we've discussed, will probably get addicted to menthol cigarettes. You're like, oh, I could breathe so well. And then after about 10 years later, about 10 years later, after 30 packs, like, oh, I breathe so well. I can't breathe as good anymore. I need to smoke more to breathe better.
It'd be like those old-timey advertisements. You have a slight cough? Smoke a menthol.
There you go. That'll be him. Yeah, Vermont's legislative moves signals a milestone in evolving politics of marijuana. Polls consistently show majority voter support for legalization, and more politicians are beginning to see the issue as a winning one they should embrace rather than run away from. Now that the bill is allowing possession and home cultivation has been signed into law, and Vermont supporters appear ready to keep pressing toward full-scale commercial legalization. Yeah, but now I want Texas to take a page out of that, and it's just we'll grow some. And then I'll just become a fucking botanist. I'm a doctor.
You're a Claudette now.
Yeah. Botany knowledge. Man, fuck, I don't care about that. I just got weed knowledge. That's what you're going to start
seeing.
Your
brother was a doctor.
So that's what I'm going to start saying. I'm going to talk to my friends I don't know shit about plants, but I know about weed plants. Oh, Lord have mercy. But there you go.
Yeah, let's roll it.
You gonna speak?
Yes, get the video up. So, sister of Michigan...
nerd.
A sister of Michigan doctor detained by ICE. He doesn't even speak Polish. And we're rolling the video.
Are we rolling the video?
I mean, I hope so.
Family and friends of a Michigan...
There we go.
What does it say? Come on, video. We're loading here. There we go. Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Michigan doctor who's facing possible deportation are fighting to keep him in this country. Lucas Neese was arrested last week by Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents. The 43-year-old immigrated to the U.S. from Poland when he was just 5 years old. His family believes his arrest is tied to misdemeanor charges from more than 25 years ago.
Now, wouldn't the statute of limitation run
out? To get him released. Rika, good morning.
Good morning. Although he's not an American citizen, Lucas Neese became a permanent U.S. resident with a green card shortly after he moved here with his family in 1970.
Wouldn't that be enough if you had a green card? I mean,
what?
No, they said that the doctor has a green card.
Yeah, he does.
And he's a permanent U.S. citizen.
Yeah.
So, what am I missing here?
I don't know.
I mean, how can ICE export or deport some...
They're human traffickers. They're exporting people.
How can they deport somebody who's a permanent U.S. resident, who has a valid green card, who doesn't even speak Polish?
They're ICE.
Well, then again, ICE did, as we covered in the story, ICE did capture a man, a U.S. citizen, and keep him there for 4 years. And then when he tried to sue, they're like, oh, the statute of limitation ran out. You should have started this procedure
while you were in jail.
While you were in jail.
And probably didn't have access to that.
Yeah. He's now being held in a Michigan County jail. His family fears that even if he is allowed to stay in the U.S., the battle could take months.
Him being away this long really does, take love to a whole new level.
Rochelle Burkhart Neese says she thought it was a prank when her husband Lucas called to say he had been detained by Immigration and Customs Enforcement. She says 3 ICE agents came to their Michigan home and put the father of 2
That's a nice house.
Yeah, it is.
We need him here.
Good job going, guy.
We're lonely without him.
And whatever the heck she does.
He is fighting to be
He's a doctor.
in the United States. He doesn't even speak Polish.
Neese's sister, Ivana Neese-Flair, believes the detention stems in part from a 1992
That's as
old as me.
for property damage that Neese pleaded guilty to when he was 17.
We did go see him on Wednesday.
Wouldn't his record have been sealed or something?
It should have actually, since he was 17 and below the age, it was a misdemeanor. It shouldn't exist anymore, actually.
Especially
mine.
20 fucking years.
Yeah.
So
kind of shell-shocked, and what I said was, you don't have anything to apologize. You did nothing wrong.
According to court records obtained by the Michigan news website MLive, Neese also pleaded guilty to a 2008 charge related to drunk driving. The plea was eventually withdrawn and the case dismissed after he completed probation. And in 2013, a jury reportedly found him not guilty of a domestic violence charge.
He's just a good guy. I mean, he just is.
Neese's colleagues and friends are now writing letters to an immigration judge in hopes they will rally support.
He's exactly the kind of person that our immigration policy should be
definitely
encouraging to.
I mean, as that guy was saying, this is who you want to encourage, absolutely. I mean, this is clearly a person who came into this country as a child and worked their way up, and
he does good for the Americans.
And he
Trump
became a doctor.
Trump better fucking. No, I don't know. Trump's not gonna come out and defend this guy, but be like, dude, he's white. Like,
to prosper here.
He's been just completely the model physician that you want the physicians to be.
Kalamazoo's Bronson Methodist Hospital, where Neese has worked for more than a decade, says he has contributed exemplary patient care and is requesting he be allowed to return to work and his family as soon as possible.
I just miss him, and
even the church.
I want him home.
I mean, that's a church. Even
he's the person I call
like, hey.
whenever anything goes wrong or right.
He's a good doctor.
And now I can't do that, and it's just.
Your brother's a doctor.
Your brother's a doctor.
He does that too well. he's actually, what is it,
an old Jewish mother.
An old Jewish woman. Who figured it out. It all makes sense. What is this cat doing?
I'm surprised she hasn't climbed in the chimney yet.
Don't fucking say that.
So, in some good news out of New York, the New York governor signs executive order to keep net neutrality rules after FCC's repeal. In an announcement today, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo said that he signed an executive order that would require Internet service providers with state contracts to abide by net neutrality rules, even though the FCC recently voted to repeal these rules. On Monday, Montana's governor signed essentially the same order, both requiring the service providers with contracts to abide by the widely agreed upon tenets of net neutrality, no blocking, throttling, or otherwise favoring content. But the more populous New York could become a key battleground over net neutrality. According to the order, any service provider receiving or renewing a contract after March 1st in New York will be required to sign an agreement saying that they will adhere to net neutrality principles.
Which, well, they're allowed to do because it's a contract. They're allowed to put that into the contract.
Major companies include Verizon and AT&T have signed contracts with the state.
Yeah.
However, the FCC, as we covered this whenever we were talking about this, specifically included a provision blocking states from passing their own rules like New York. New York, like other states that attempt similar plans, will likely face a legal challenge.
However, though, the state can't put rules in place. They can't pass their own laws type thing, but they can still write it into a contract because it's a contract. You can write any rules you want into a contract. You can sign away your rights legally in contracts. Therefore, you can do illegal things with contracts.
Depends on the language of this. Because it doesn't say it's in the contract. They say it's a part of this order if they have a contract with the state. So the contract doesn't necessarily need to include it. Because as a part of this order, if they have a contract, they must abide by this. So, distinctions.
Or the state could just mandate that no contracts can be signed unless they have, that stuff in it.
But, unfortunately, and it's how our legal system works, is the Supremacy Clause, which states that federal laws and regulations override state laws and regulations. So, I would be highly surprised if... I don't think the FCC will win in this case, because this rule is clearly against the consumers, and I would hope that the courts see that, and see that the FCC is not working within the best interests of the citizenry, and make that a point that this organization has failed in their duty, but that and that the court strikes it down, but with the caveat and understanding that the Federal Supremacy Clause still reigns. But that's just built into law, and everybody knows that.
Yeah, but on the same token is everything's still federally illegal, like marijuana.
Yes.
And the states are allowing it.
Yes.
However, the federal government can still come in and...
Which they are.
And
remember, as we also covered earlier in this year, that Jeff Sessions has rescinded the Cole memo, which was put out in 2014 by the Obama administration, telling the federal government and the federal agencies to stand down for states that have marijuana legally as a part of their laws.
Yeah.
So Obama just said not to federally enforce it. The laws are still there, and they could have enforced it were it not for the memo, and they are now choosing to because Jeff Sessions has revoked the memo. So, fuck Jeff Sessions.
Yes.
And Trump. And I told you so. Whenever Trump got elected and I saw he was going to put Jeff Sessions into place, I said it here first that he was not going to be friendly to weed and he was going to do everything within his power to get rid of it.
Where did he do that? I mean, he said that. Anyway. Yes. He always said that. Anyway, in news that I'm sure Kenneth loves, Bitcoin tumbles below $10,000 and is now down 25% on the year. Bitcoin briefly fell Tuesday below the psychologically key 10,000 for the second time in a week. The digital currency dropped more than 7% to a low of $9,972 Tuesday morning, according to CoinDesk's Bitcoin price.
Current Bitcoin price is $11,517.
Yeah, which is still...
No, but I mean, it's insane because literally...
So it went down and then went back up.
Literally today alone, it dipped down freaking $500. And then it's back up.
So literally, if I had enough money to invest in one Bitcoin, when it gets low, and it sells it when it gets high, I could just make quick bucks.
The market's so damn volatile. I mean, look at what happened in 3 months.
It just skyrocketed, and now it's like teetering out towards 10K.
Yeah, it's insane. It's not a healthy market.
No. They just need more things to say blockchain, and then we'll be good. Anyway, yeah. Bitcoin plunged more than 30% in the middle of last week, briefly falling below 10,000 to a low of $9,199 on CoinDesk, following concerns of increased regulations in South Korea and China. Shit, I don't think I have $10,000 to buy one. If I did, I would have bought one. Because it could have made $1,000. Quick buck. No specific driver was immediately apparent behind Tuesday's decline, which has taken Bitcoin more than 25% lower for the year so far. But Bitcoin remains a staggering 955% above January 2017 levels. It was a bubble. It is a bubble. Ray Dalio, founder of hedge fund giant Bridgewater Associates, told CNBC Tuesday. From the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland, a perfectly good market can be in a bubble. Ethereum, the second largest digital currency by market capitalization, traded more than 5% lower, near 950, according to CoinMarketCap. Ripple, the third largest cryptocurrency by market cap, fell more than 6.5% to $1.27. So basically, we should get on the Ripple train. Get on the Ripple, man. Ripple Rapple. How much was Ethereum that expensive? Was it always 1,000 a piece?
No, it's gone up rapidly.
That's what I thought. Should have bought some fucking Ethereum, man. Damn.
I should have bought Ripple. Shit, I knew when I saw Ripple was going to skyrocket, it was only about 50 cents, about like 30 cents. And now it's $1.27. I could have made a killing. However, and I continue to repeat this, do not invest in Bitcoins. It is a bubble, it will burst, and you will lose everything.
Not unless you short trade it, like I plan to.
I wouldn't short trade it. It's too volatile to short.
Now, when it goes down, you can easily short trade it. I feel like this is a semi-predictable market. It's predictable that it goes low, and it'll bounce back up to at least probably above 10K. It's about the whole 10K.
I mean, it's above 10K right now.
Exactly. That's my point exactly. If it goes below 10K, unless it continues to go below 10K, you gotta watch it. If it goes below 10K and then all of a sudden starts going back up, then that's probably when you should buy.
I should have sold.
What? How did AMD go down?
Yeah. It's been going up all this past week. And it even reached 14K. And now it's down to... I've lost that $500 I was just saying Bitcoin did.
Nice.
But I'm still up. 2,300.
Oh, nice. How much were you up whenever it was, like, highest at its peak? What was the peak at? 14? Nice.
So that was up $500 more. Nearly $3,000.
Hey, man, did you say what? They rebrand?
I said nearly $3,000. Although, AMD has actually reformatted the Radeon Technologies group to hopefully increase innovation within AMD.
So we could see the same sort of upstart for Radeon, hopefully. Oh. Scorpion Mirror.
8988. Thank you for following. So, on to the Democrats.
On to the Democrats.
Democrats warn Russia trying to influence Mueller investigation. The top two Democrats sent a plea for help on Tuesday to the CEOs of Twitter and Facebook, warning Russia-linked social media accounts attempting to influence investigations into Russian election meddling. It's critically important that the special counsel's investigation be allowed to proceed without interference from inside or outside the United States, says Senator Dianne Feinstein and Representative Adam Schiff, both from California, in a letter referring to the probe by Robert Mueller. Senator Dianne Stein needs to go. I don't like her. She's not very good. And it's quite hypocritical.
Why is that?
She's very wishy-washy.
Very wishy-washy.
And in the pocket of the mafia.
Is she in the pocket of the mafia?
Not literally, but pretty much.
I was just say, is she really? Because that's kind of cool.
The letter addressed to CEOs, Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg and Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey, follows an admission from a Facebook product manager that there's no assurance that the social media site is even good for democracy. Why would some random product manager for Facebook be like, yeah, no, we're not good for democracy, this is a bad thing. Which it is. I mean, Facebook and Twitter have so much, especially Facebook, has so much data on everybody. They know exactly how to target and manipulate people based upon their crazy algorithms and shit. I mean, yeah, it's not a good thing that they have. Numerous U.S. spy agencies have unanimously agreed that Russia attempted to influence the outcome of the 2016 presidential election, in part through a deliberate campaign of false news stories and social media.
Yep, which we've covered before.
Yep. The Democrats' warning to tech leaders cites real-time analytics from the website Hamilton68 as evidence of their concern. The site, named after one of the Federalist Papers authored by the founding father Alexander Hamilton, claims to track 600 Twitter accounts linked to Russian influence operations.
Jeez.
In due course, the hashtag released the memo went viral. Among the 600 monitored accounts, using the use of the hashtag increased by nearly 300,000% over just 2 days.
That's very funny.
If these reports are accurate, we are witnessing an ongoing attack by the Russian government through Kremlin-linked social media actors directly acting to intervene and influence our democratic process. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, shit, if the hashtag just increases 300,000% just because of some Twitter bots. Yeah.
I mean, it's not like Twitter bots are hard or anything, or they do anything.
Clearly they have some influence because it's gone viral and people are asking about it.
Maybe I should spend money and just throw money towards some Twitter bots in that case, so I can get my name out there. So we get the talk show out. We can get the real news out. The realest Korea news, basically.
In the great nation of Korea.
Yep. Trump. Oh no. Trump administration wants to end NASA funding for the International Space Station by 2025. I mean, didn't the Obama administration already cancel some contracts and end some of the things?
Oh, this.
Huh? He's doing weird shit on Imgur. It's a chocolate chip. It's a chocolate chip cookie covered in chocolate chips.
Yes.
Well done. It's a chocolate chip cookie.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
It looks delicious.
We're on the Qualcomm thing. I saw this too. Qualcomm fined $1.2 billion as Apple loyalty comes at a price. Qualcomm Inc. spent billions of dollars buying Apple Inc.'s loyalty and must now shell out 997 million euros, or $1.2 billion, in fines after the European Union's antitrust arm said the payments were an illegal ploy to ensure only its chips were used in iPhones and iPads. Apple was cornered by Qualcomm with a 2011 deal that offered significant sums and rebates if it only bought the company's chips, the European Commissioner said in an emailed statement. I mean, I suppose
that Qualcomm will... Because, I mean, there's only so many people Apple can go to for the chips, and it's... Well,
there's only so many people who can put up with that demand, and as far as I know, it's mostly Qualcomm.
Qualcomm, or I think Samsung makes their own Enix processors.
But in Samsung phones, it's all Qualcomm processors.
No. In American Samsung phones, it's Qualcomm. In international Samsung phones, it's Enix. So Apple could have gone to Samsung, or apparently Intel as well.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't know. What does Intel make?
But Intel makes, well, Atom.
Yeah, but Atom's not a good mobile phone processor, is it?
It's not in any mobile phone.
It was used in retard PCs, but I don't think they ever used
which are still more powerful than a cell phone.
The Qualcomm CPUs are extremely powerful. What are you talking about?
I know, one powers my phone. It's like an octa-core with 4 gigs of RAM and a freaking 16 by 10 screen.
Yeah, no, the phones are almost as good as computers at this point.
I mean, it's better than some of the work computers.
Well, that's not hard.
Some of the newer work computers.
Okay, there you go. That's still also not hard, but still.
True.
Lord have mercy.
If this thing had 8 gigs of RAM, I would just fucking find a dock for it and use it as an Android computer.
Yeah, if you could get more
kind of like the Razer.
But yeah, if you get Android to be if you could dual boot Android and Windows, you'd be set.
Not even that. I could just work with Android. I'll just use the mobile app of Office and shit.
I guess that's true.
I actually do have an Android PC that's actually properly formatted for desktop. I just don't use it.
Interesting.
It's just sitting there.
I
paid money for it too because it was interesting, and then I'm like, "This is interesting. Let me get this." And then
you got it, and you're like, "This isn't interesting enough to hold my attention."
Well, it's I would use it, and it would work fine.
But you have a gaming laptop.
But I have my desktop's plugged to my TV, so that kind of depreciated any value it had, and I don't really have a use for it. And the company that manufactured it went under. Or, I think... No, they're still making shit. No, did they get... Yeah, whatever.
And Apple is seriously thinking of switching from Qualcomm to Intel chips, which would have made a big difference to Intel, but didn't do so until its Qualcomm pact was about to expire in September 2016. This meant that no rival could effectively challenge Qualcomm in this market. No matter how good their products were, Vestager said, we're talking about one of the biggest and most important customers in this market. The antitrust fine that used third highest comes as what? Oh, that thing?
Yeah, it's just that little thing there. Super small.
Nice.
64-bit.
Tries to fend off a $105 billion hostile takeover by rival Broadcom Ltd. and wages war with Apple in numerous court cases around the world over patent licensing. The case focuses on LTE-based chipsets used in the 4G mobile phone standard. Qualcomm warned Apple that it would cease payments if it sold products using other chips. Vestager said that this threat was a key factor for Apple refusing to source from Intel. It would have cost Apple a lot of money to quit Qualcomm, and it would have made a big difference to Intel. Which it would have. What is it? They said they would, if they sold products using other chips, they would cease payments to what? Oh, I guess they were, putting money into the company.
And, Apple's being blackmailed, essentially.
Yeah. Well, I mean, first of all, you shouldn't get yourself in that situation. Apple, I'm looking at you, but you're Apple anyway, and you do dodgy shit all the time, so, yeah. I don't care. And for Qualcomm, your chips are in almost any phone, so you're fine, probably. It sucks. But really, it is what it is. Hello, Bulldog Bean. Anyway. So, on to the next thing. Even though, like, I started talking about the International Space Station thing, and then I realized Qualcomm was the correct one, I guess. That's kind of funny.
So, Trump administration wants to end NASA funding for the International Space Station by 2025. The Trump administration is preparing to end support for the International Space Station program by 2025, according to a draft budget proposal. Without the ISS, American astronauts could be grounded on Earth for years, with no destination in space until NASA develops new vehicles for its deep space travel plans. The draft may change before an official budget request is released on February 12th. However, people familiar with the matters have confirmed that the directive will be in the final proposal. Any budget proposal from the Trump administration will also be subject to scrutiny and approval. Any budget...
Hey, we have sound, Mr. Dogs. You might want to refresh your page. I was just checking to see if we had sound. We're good. I mean, I saw it here, but I was just checking. They didn't say they couldn't hear us.
Any budget proposal from the Trump administration will also be subject to scrutiny and approval by Congress. But even announcing the intention to cancel ISS funding could send a signal to NASA's international partners that the U.S. is no longer interested in continuing the program. The International Space Station has been an ongoing program for more than 2 years. No, 2 decades.
2 decades. I was like 2 years, Ken.
I was reading a different line. It costs NASA between $3 to $4 billion each year and represents a more than $87 billion investment from the U.S. government. Well, yeah, do you know how much it costs to get shit into space, something that large?
Pretty
a
much.
Lot of money. Ain't cheap.
No.
Especially considering it is, well, the only and I can also say, the premier destination for low gravity science.
Isn't it not low gravity? Isn't it no gravity? It says microgravity.
Microgravity research.
Yeah. By the way, that reminds me, there was another NASA Scholars Program thing. They wanted us to design a test that would go on the ISS.
Neat.
Yep. I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do, because I think everything that I wanted to think of has pretty much already been done. There's only so much you could do with testing liquids and shit. You know?
Anyways, it has become a major hub for conducting both government and commercial experiments in microgravity, as well as testing out how the human body responds to weightlessness.
Which, by the way, it doesn't respond very well.
Nope. It's quite bad.
Yep.
Which is why if you ever want to go anywhere long term, we need to work on artificial gravity.
Yeah. That or you just stay in the station. You just stay in your spaceship. Because, like, as soon as you get out on gravity, you're just going to be like, oh, look. And you literally break down. It depends on how long you're in space for.
Yeah, I mean, like they said, they had
because they put people up there for like multiple months.
He was in space for like a year.
Yeah.
Because he had a twin brother, so they used them as a baseline.
Mm-hmm.
And they found that there was quite a lot of health differences between the two. Nothing that time on Earth and, you know...
I don't think it took him that long. It took him like a few weeks just to get back. It's because, like, the biggest deal is because your muscles get used to, you know, pushing against gravity. And when there's no gravity, you're not using your muscles as much. I mean, you can effectively lift weight in 0G, but you're not lifting weight because there's no weight.
I mean, it's part of just working the muscles.
Yeah, but
yeah, he had to go through physical therapy back on Earth.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, without weight, your body, like, it doesn't put you under the strain that it really requires. So, yeah, doing the same repeated action, like, I guess beating your meat would count, but not as much as, like, actually moving because there's gravity pulling you down.
Anyways.
Anyway, on to Stupid and Crazy. Alrighty then. Satanic Temple beats Missouri in showdown over abortion rights. Haha, I love Satanists. The move comes after a showdown in the Missouri Supreme Court after a group called Satanic Temple fought the state's abortion restrictions on behalf of an anonymous woman. On Wednesday, Missouri Solicitor General D. John Sauer declared ultrasounds are not required to obtain an abortion in Missouri, according to a press release from the Satanic Temple. Their attorney argued that the imposition of an ultrasound and the opportunity to hear the fetal heartbeat were both medically unnecessary and a violation of her personal and religious beliefs. Thank you, Grandpa, in 1966 for following. I can only assume that you might be an older gentleman born in 1966. And if so, welcome to the show. You like news, I'm assuming? We're getting towards the tail end of our news show, though. As you can see, the current topic is stupid and crazy. So we're just going over stupid and crazy news. I mean, this is kind of cool, though.
This is good.
This.
It's only down here because it's the Satanic Temple.
Yep. Oh, I'm 20. Okay, well, you lied to me. I thought you were older. You lied to me, Grandpa.
Your name is so misleading.
I know, right? That's the joke, probably. Anyway, the attorney asked judges to block the state's mandatory 3-day waiting period for abortions and a requirement that doctors giving abortions also give the woman a handout that says life of each human being begins at conception.
Survey shows that's a lie.
According to a press release from the Satanic Temple and an audio recording of the arguments published by the court, justices of the court asked the state's representative if it's the position of the state that an ultrasound does not have to be conducted unless a person says they want the opportunity to hear the fetal heartbeat. Missouri's Solicitor General Sauer affirms that the state's interpretation of the statute is that women only be offered the opportunity to have an ultrasound and listen to the fetal heartbeat. And if a woman declines hearing the audio, the ultrasound need not be performed and the requirement has been satisfied.
Because in a lot of these times, it's been implied that was a default position, that you had to listen to the ultrasound and have it performed.
Yeah, and that's what people think forever. Because all the pro-lifers think, well, if you hear the heartbeat, you won't kill it. Or something. Yeah. Which is, it does, emotionally affect people.
It's psychological manipulation.
It's basically psychological warfare in a nutshell. Mm-hmm. But anyway, it's from Xbox 360, so you come from the Xbox land. I know how that feels. Except, that sounds more like an auto-generator name or something. I don't know, I've used the same name for years. I kind of want my old name, my OG name back.
I don't know, my name is from the Xbox. Xbox 360 days.
Interesting. There you go. Alright, so... I've seen this.
Yeah, I love this story. I couldn't pass it up. So we're going to watch a video real quick of a child robbing a gas station at gunpoint. Rides off on a skateboard.
It's the talk of the gas station.
20, 40, 60. I'm dead serious.
Wow.
Yeah.
What happened at this Stockton Arco is surprising.
It's terrible.
It's no good.
But who did it is an even bigger shock.
It's ridiculous. I couldn't believe it.
You see this young boy skating up to the convenience store on West Benjamin Holt Drive Monday afternoon. Instead of picking up snacks...
Young man! That's like a thing of the YMCA.
Police say he pulled out a gun and demanded money from the clerk. His age? About 11 years old.
It's just very sad to see that someone this young would want to do something like this.
The gun was pointed at the clerk's face. The woman in her 50s is James Ratto's coworker.
She just screamed for our coworker, and then the kid got frightened, I'm assuming, and ran off.
The whole interaction took less than 2 minutes, but what this kid didn't realize is that it was all caught on camera. A decision that took just those few moments lasts forever in these surveillance videos.
We can always see what happens in the store.
Stockton police say the boy is Hispanic. He wore a gray hoodie, a black and white backpack, and a purple bandana to cover his face. His getaway vehicle? A skateboard. There are two big questions now. Who is this 11-year-old? And why did he do this?
Does he have family problems that he's trying to help the family out? Is it to steal the money to help them? Or is he just trying to get initiated?
Thank you for following.
He says
Thank you, Major Payne.
This is ridiculous. Just gonna skateboard up and pull a gun on a damn Arco.
So he stops his early exploration into a life of crime.
I'm sure that this was his first time thinking of doing it, and he hopefully doesn't try and do it again.
Shit, you'd get away faster if you were just running.
Not necessarily. Skateboards, man, it's just like any other assistive device. All you do is just 2 good fucking struts and you're just rolling.
Provided that the roads are well enough to support it.
That's true. If you have a good skateboard with good bearings, you're good. You're gooch. It's just like using a fucking scooter. You could fucking jet with scooters, or you can put on roller skates and just fucking roller skate away.
What is this 1970s robbery? Just rollerblading up and then just I can just hear the screech.
No skates, yeah, rollerblade. Just scoot. Give me all your money, fool! What the hell is going on? I said, give me your money, as he's wearing, like, super bright neon colors.
Just take it, just get out of here.
Alright. And then, like, you just see him, like, talking to his watch. Alright, Doc, we got the money.
No, then just a disco ball just comes out and they just, like, fucking spinning around, like, moonwalking, reverse rollerblading out.
Yep.
So, this is fucking ridiculous. Coming out of Saudi Arabia. I don't believe what Saudi Arabia is doing. Camels banned from a Saudi Arabian beauty contest over Botox.
I believe it's a camel beauty contest specifically, because I've seen this. I saw the story before this came out.
Yes, it is 12 prized camels have been disqualified from a beauty contest in Saudi Arabia after their owners tried to tweak their good looks with Botox.
My camel looks better than yours, Rashid.
Rashid Mohammed.
Yep. Damn.
Thousands of camels are paraded at the King Abdulaziz Camel Festival to be judged on their shapely lips and humps. These judges. They just want to fuck these camels.
Yes.
But judges stepped in when they discovered some owners had cheated in a bid to win the cash prizes. The festival, which also features camel racing and camel milk tasting, has a combined prize money of $57 million.
So yeah, with that much money on the line, I mean that's combined from all things. But I'm assuming, they're getting like a couple mil for these camels or something. Like, with that much money on the line, Botox is not out of the question.
Botox, plastic surgery. What do you got to do to make this camel look magnificent?
Pretty much. Fucking makeup.
Ali al-Mazrouhi, the son of a top Emirati breeder, said Botox was used for the lips, the nose, and even the jaw. It makes the head more inflated, so when the camel comes, it's like, oh, look how big that head is. It has big lips and a big nose. I don't know how to judge a camel, but apparently big lips and a big nose and a big head. Judges are also looking for perfectly placed humps, muscular physiques, and leathery mouths. It's so weird. This is just weird.
I mean, they have to do something. All they have is sand out there.
And very expensive sports cars, and they're all worth millions and billions.
I suppose that's true. Well, I don't know. They have to have some sort of retarded, lavish things. It's like fucking rich white people playing polo.
Or dressage.
What the fuck is that?
There's a big thing that came out when Mitt Romney tried to run for presidency because his wife does dressage, which is horse dancing.
What?
Yeah.
Do you dance with horses, or do you sit on the horse?
You sit on the horse and then you make it dance.
Like dance hardcore, or is it just like doing parade marches and stuff? Because like people do parade marches all the time.
No. Just Google a video of it and you can see.
I think I'm good. Not right now. I'll do it later. I'm not interested in it that much. I'm just like, the fuck?
Yes,
I don't know. Like
the Camel Beauty Contest was first held in 2000 and last year was relocated from a remote desert area to a permanent venue north of the capital, Riyadh.
Riyadh. Yeah, Riyadh. But they do all sorts of stuff like that. Like I said, rich people do a lot of stupid shit like that. I'm sure they have horse beauty contests and stuff for like the rich white people here in America and stuff like that. I'm actually fairly certain that's a thing.
I'm quite sure it probably is a thing, and they probably have
because it's horses. It's like your prized animal. Yeah, dog shows too. That's a big deal.
It's a big deal.
So yeah.
Also, the American Kennel Club is a very terrible organization.
Yeah, the American Kennel Club is bad, and
they're making dogs bad.
Getting fucking purebred dogs is bad because usually they're super inbred and they're basically retarded with a whole host of problems. Like, for instance, our little poodle who has cataracts out the ass and is literally blind because she's an AK registered poodle. Fantastic.
It must be expensive.
Probably was. I don't know. It's because my mom wanted to replace. She's to the point where she replaces the dead dogs with similar dogs. That's why we got Max to replace Bear, who was a lab chow mix. But Bear was a great dog. This dog is a complete asshole.
She just got with a full lab.
Well, we wanted the curly tail. That's really all we wanted out of the chow, is the curly little tail. But see, that's the thing. Like, Bear was a great dog that was super nice to everybody. But this dog, he's like, I feel like he's mixed with something else. I don't know. He's fucking muscular, and he's dumb, and he's aggressive. Like, I don't understand how he's, again, as we've talked to him, he's eating glass. He eats pens. He eats plastic. He eats fucking anything. He eats metal. I don't know. He eats anything. But he's still alive. I literally think he's just too dumb to die. I think he's got retard strength to the nth degree, and I don't understand how that's even honestly physically possible, but he does. Like, he should have died. He should have bled out internally from eating glass.
Yeah, he ate, like, apparently a very large glass bowl.
He had a fucking glass globe. Yes. And then I saw him eat glass the other day, too. And there's just no blood. I'm like, how are you eating that and your mouth's not getting cut up? I don't understand. Then again, he's eaten so much shit, he probably has the effective, I don't know, calluses in the mouth or something like that. I have no idea.
And it's kind of like those people who eat, like, metal and other random shit. They're not dead. I don't know what and they actually found that those people have stomach acid of a higher acidity. Mm-hmm. That can actually kind of break down that stuff.
Well, stomach acid can break down metal anyway.
Yeah, but it's even of a higher concentration to make it actually feasible.
Heartburn must be a bitch for those people. Yeah. But anyway, thank you all for joining us for this episode of Table Talk Thursday. And hello, Anon God, you're coming here
right at the end of our show.
Of the talk show. We're signing off just right now.
Yeah, so thank you for joining us on Table Talk Thursday, episode 40. And we hope you'll join us again 42. Yes. And we hope you'll join us again next week to see more of the news in your weekly broadcast.
Yes, so Anon God, just go ahead and follow us, and we're here every Thursday talking about news.
Thank you for following. That was very nice.
And everybody, thank you for following Anon God. There you go. And you'll also see us here every Tuesday doing an anime talk show, which features me and Highkick from Mixerland.
Of which I am not Highkick.
Yes, this guy is raining death. So, catch us here next time. Usually we start the anime talk show around 7:30. We start this sometime closer to 8:30 nowadays. Yeah. But yeah, thank you for joining us. Thank you for stopping by and saying hello. And
have a good evening.
All have a great night.